What up, y'all? It's the Normies coming at you with some wire. Season 1, episode 9, Game Day.
Game Day, baby! Wow. Woo, Game Day. Oh, let's go. I'm ready. I'm excited.
Can you guys make your elbows touch?
Who?
Make your elbows touch.
Yeah, I can make elbows touch. Why not?
Because you got some nice New York boobs.
Almost. My titty meat's too big.
Midwest titties.
MidwestTitties.com. Look me up. I'm popping out. All right.
That's going to be the only fans.
All right, so it's game day.
Is it game
you guys
day
tell me what you think's going to happen, and then we're going to get into it. Guys, Serge and Marquetta are out for these episodes. Ketty is getting the cat groomed. That is not a double entendre. And Serge has a headache.
Headache.
So, what do you guys think's going
Okay,
down?
so game day. That means it's like gang member against gang member, honcho against honcho. It's game day. It's happening. Something's going down.
Tight.
Yeah,
Pat?
I think it's that.
From the thumbnail, both Avon looks like he's wearing a hat, so I think it might be a basketball game. I think it might be Avon's basketball crew versus Avon's basketball crew. You know, it might be a big basketball tournament at Rucker Park or something like that. I don't know.
Well, they're not in New York, but fair enough.
They're not in New York? I thought they were in New York.
No, they're in
Boston.
Boston. Or Baltimore. Maryland.
Oh, fuck. This whole time I thought they were in New York.
I mean, they some New York ass motherfuckers that fucking East Coast accent and shit.
Yeah.
God.
Rucker Park.
Spidey, is this a market substitute?
No, it's not a market substitute. In fact, you guys should support the OG content on your own. You can watch The Wire on, what are we watching this on, Hulu?
Hulu.
Yeah.
Hulu if you want to. Voodoo that they do at Hulu. Definitely hit that like button for us down at the bottom. Subscribe. Check out our Patreon. It gives us the money to do all the other fun things like the skits that we've been popping out.
You were in the Wire
Banging,
skit.
son. I am in the Wire skit.
Ooh.
It's a lot of fun to do, guys. We do enjoy doing that for you. Please help us like, subscribe down there. Getting right into it.
All right, yep.
Yeah.
Pat, World Clock.
Yeah, I'm getting
World
it.
Clock out.
Damn.
Embarrassed.
Mine, you ain't got nobody balling like this. He better not have one motherfucker balling like this. I'm sick and tired of losing these East Side bitches every year. It's been 3 years running now, man. I'm in the faggot. Omar, that nigga in the wind, man. Yeah, what you mean he in the wind, man?
Gone with the win.
If you want us to hunt that nigga, we gonna hunt. But smart play, I think we call a truce. Enlarged though, that ain't bad, right? Nah, it ain't. 10 for the kid, plus 5 donation for the program. And I assume there's another 5 right here for making this happen.
Oh my God, this dude.
Jesus. This motherfucker just spent 20K.
On this kid.
20K on a basketball player, bro.
And this dude,
For one game.
I love that homie's like, bro, I'm trying to get a bonus for me and the wife. Let me get 5 right now for like making this happen. It was a smart question to ask too.
No.
That donation is
Great question. But low key though, would you ask that question in front of a drug dealer like that though?
I don't think he knows that. I don't think he knows how bad they are. I'd be like, if I him, I'm like, these guys got money to spend, and I literally just facilitated the deal. I'd be like, yo, let me get off another 5 for that, please and thank you.
Right.
If they were like, motherfucker, we'll kill you if you ask again, I'm like, that seems reasonable. I'm gonna leave.
Right, I'm gonna go.
I wouldn't have pressed it. Definitely would have asked.
You know how like companies got softball teams? I think like the corner boys got a basketball team.
Game
And
day.
all the game bangers got their basketball teams, and they're trying to figure out who's got the best team.
All the drug dealers.
I played on my neighborhood futsal team a couple years ago and
Futsal.
absolutely got trounced. 'Cause I'm fat and terrible.
Now you don't want to see me on the court. They call me Trace Uno for no reason. You know why? Because I shoot threes all day, baby.
All right.
Maybe we won, Herc.
They don't. No one calls you that.
Bat, here it is then. We're gonna get a Normies basketball game going. I'm gonna beat your ass in 21.
I'm beating you. I won
I'm not-
multiple
Hold
every
on.
year.
Did Chris just say he's gonna beat me in basketball? We gotta do this happen. We're gonna make it happen. Hey, well, we're gonna stream it.
I just don't want to play. I just don't want to play no more. I was thinking about going to school. Asked they'll let me back in at the end of the semester.
What grade?
9.
Oh my God.
You a smart little motherfucker. Start back up at Emerson. You likely to finish up at Harvard or some shit like that. Leave, B.
Oh yeah.
Got a good heart in there, too. Not like the rest of these niggas.
Until this nigga come take over Wakanda.
Until he kills a man on every continent.
Right, all of them.
You know how hard it is to kill a man on every continent? You gotta go to Antarctica. There's like 12 people.
Who deserves it out there?
Hello, you make order? You make order. Good yakimi, good noodle, extra ketchup.
I don't know how I feel about this scene.
I don't know.
First thing is we need to name all front companies.
Start with the nightclub, which Barksdale owns. Look up Orlando's.
Money man.
D&B Enterprises.
Corporate charter office.
Corporate who?
The resident agent on the filing, who is usually a lawyer. Find that agent's name. Run it through the computer. Find out what other corporations he is on the filing for, and that way we find other front companies.
Fucking genius.
Right?
If you find something that fits, you write down the folio number so that you can look it up later at the courthouse.
Bro, Lester is.
You follow drugs, you get drug addicts and drug dealers. But you start to follow the money, and you don't know where the fuck it's gonna take you.
We're running around on this.
That's what they said last episode.
What are you gonna do?
On some shit.
That's what his name. What was the guy who said? What's his name? The
Daniels.
Daniel.
Campaign financial reports for Western districts and actually any citywide race.
You want quarterly reports or individual donor lists?
Oh, please.
It'll be a couple hundred pages.
I'll take all of it.
Lester's on some shit, man.
Lester's a genius, and I love how he broke down that whole thing. It was like a cop, break. That was awesome.
This money right here, I didn't just pull this out of your truck.
What money?
You want it back, you can explain it to the state's attorney where you got it.
Y'all enjoy your date now, yeah?
Damn, that's fucked up.
I mean, how much money did they say they were making before? Like $1 million a week or something crazy like that?
Is that where he hides his shit? This is so dumb.
Bub done found the stash.
Yeah.
Well, mini Omar.
About to get caught.
He has so much balls right now.
That's it.
Run faster, bro!
Please, come on, Bub. Don't let a pill drop. Oh, he gonna look up. Ah, fuck.
That's probably for the best, because honestly, I'd be like, am I crazy? Like, what happened to all my drugs?
You're not fast enough to get down.
They got the wrong guy!
They just beating my fucking
They got the wrong guy!
I got the wrong guy.
It's your wish, Bubs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now we're about to OD. That was a great scene, but that's not good stuff to do.
That's every scene in this show, bro.
So you guys like Bubs? Since he got another person killed.
Bro, if he throws
I like Bubs because I like his whole struggle.
This ain't shit. Nah, neither. It's fucking Arm and Hammer.
Damn! This man just almost died for a bag full of baking soda.
Baking soda. And another man died for baking soda.
How much do you tip? How much do I tip?
Oh my god.
Some good service.
Don't you think we be able to?
You'd be a clever motherfucker if there wasn't a wiretap running.
What do you mean?
No, we're not gonna take the money, bro. Or not, bro.
They returned in 20. And then this afternoon, the bosses were listening to the wiretap, and they hear we took 30 out of that car. Didn't think of that, did you?
Was he trying to just you fool?
We're supposed to turn off the tap. It's non-pertinent. Hey, fuck no. This is too good.
Touch yourself.
Oh, yeah?
Just outside on the payphone.
So you gonna come past here?
Tomorrow, yeah. But I need to go past Argyle straight tonight. Check in with Wallace.
Wallace?
Man, he off the hook since we helped the Tower crew get that sticker, boy. I'm telling you, man, Wallace is bugging. Don't hardly even come out of that phone no more.
Yeah, luckily they listen more than 90 seconds.
Pertinent information.
What is if you're gonna explain why we're still on the line after 10 minutes jerking off? You gotta justify that.
Maybe 3 hoes was the code for 3 stash houses.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh man.
Don't be yelling his name like this.
Oh my
he
God,
wants to
be young.
Matrix.
Somebody in trouble now.
Pop, pop.
Oh shit! I don't want to go through that door.
Y'all might need to think this through and stop wasting my time. Cause Omar come back tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. And I will put a bullet in all y'all behind what happened right now. You heard?
Oh man, I should have been Omar for Halloween.
Fair enough.
Omar just took the stash like that.
He didn't even have to hurt.
Bro, reputation right there. That's reputation right there.
Where's everybody at?
Oh, maybe the whole thing is over. No one bothered to tell us. Maybe we won.
Something ain't right.
No. Who is she not? Who is this?
Thinking, I ain't got no other place to go. Maybe that's wrong, right? That ain't right, right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Wait.
He's just gonna steal from her and steal that shit, bro.
I hope not.
There's an old sofa in the basement and I'll throw you down some blankets. You try to come up those stairs and I'm gonna call the police on you. I swear I will.
Is that like his ex-wife, daughter, or what is this, sister?
Someone who cares for him, though.
Yeah, she better not rob his ass. I mean, he better not rob his ass.
The gang.
The basketball game, baby.
We used to have a court like this with a big fence around it. We called it the cage.
Cage.
Yo, who's playing who? West against East. Baltimore? Project, man.
That's awesome. Where's our dude? That is our dude.
It's embarrassing in front of your family.
The crew that runs Orlando's, they dropped about a dozen bodies over the last year, and they're running the drugs in every housing project west of the Martin Luther King.
I don't know anything about that. I just work for tips.
But now you do know, right? Because we're telling you.
You know a girl named Keisha Michaels?
Aww.
I don't think she's a sweetheart. I think we push her hard, she'll tumble. You want to show the pictures?
Aww.
Hey, yo, what's up, Playboy? How come you wearing that suit, B? For real? It's 85 fucking degrees out here. You trying to be like Pat Riley.
Man, look the part, be the part, motherfucker.
You walking around with a fake fucking clipboard. You can't even read it.
Yeah, you're top.
Bunch of bitches.
I love it. Look at that
He's on his head.
Look at that Pat Riley fake clipboard.
Oh, shit. Damn, they're goaltended.
We on break.
Hey, buddy.
Who's favorite? Eastside won the last 2 years.
My boys.
He's got a snake right next to it. Did no one see that?
That's all that.
There's a snake on the man's wrist.
Hey, dumpster.
Rolled up in a rug.
She overdosed, and whoever was with her didn't do shit but roll her up and throw her away.
The only reason we knew who she was or what she was about or what she might mean to someone like you is because we've been keeping an eye on the people who run Orlando's for some time now.
We got ways of knowing what they're saying.
You know what they said about this one?
That the stupid bitch didn't know how good the snort was at little man's party. That it was her own fault. That's how they do.
She's gonna tell Dee Dee about they got wiretaps.
Lying motherfucker. He said they took her to a hospital.
His name's just D'Angelo. Stringer, ain't nobody seen you on with a do-rag once.
Yo, I think Avon's here.
Where? There's a snake over there.
Like, I know what he looks like. He's a black guy rooting for Westside.
Should have had a picture of the game.
We might have a visual on Avon's street ball game up at Cloverdale. We should follow him. What? You're gonna touch drugs and money anywhere you can see him, Lieutenant. In narcotics, we follow guys. We do it well. We make cases on it.
In homicide, we wait for them to be dead. Then we show the fuck up.
Draw some stuff, chalk outlines.
Right?
I got a proposition for you. Double down, let's get this wager a clean 6 figures.
Shit, I don't give a fuck, baby. It's your money. Waste it if you want. You know what I'm talking
You'll bring another.
We should watch Paid in Full.
What is that? Movie?
What's Paid in Full?
Paid in Full is a movie. It's a great fucking movie. Oh, Lord!
Woo!
Oh, Lord!
He's balling on your ass! Balling on you!
Oh, God, it's the And One mixtape.
Oh, And One mixtape, baby!
Oh, baby! That was shit.
The man's gonna need 2 individual casts for each ankle.
Yeah, Chris, I see you out here.
Oh, God! Put him in a casket. Get the pallbearers.
In front of your family, son, you don't go home.
Oh, no! You can't do that shit. No, foul. Foul. No, I saw that.
That was a foul. That was a foul. That was a foul, y'all. The rest got paid.
In this particular case, the rest being actually paid.
Look, I don't want any trouble, Cap. Ain't gonna be no trouble over no ball.
You're supposed to be the ref, right? Why don't you stand up for your fucking self, you pussy? And walk away. Turn around and walk the fuck away, ignorant motherfucker.
Hey, man, anyone's right there. You're a ref. You can't let anybody stand.
D'Angelo, huh?
You know him?
At this point, it feels like I do.
I would tell Lester anything, man.
Man, she's snitching on her boo.
So comforting.
He can just
He's
have
so
her secret.
comforting. He has that voice.
Her boo that knew her friend was dead didn't tell him?
Yeah, fuck him.
I don't know what else you
Keisha was not the first. Unless somebody steps up a little bit, she's not going to be the last, neither. You like that one? Why don't you keep it?
Souvenir for snitching.
He's getting into a Black Ford excursion. 1171. You got the parallel on the north, I got him on the south.
Oh my God, let's go.
1210, keep the eyeball. 1171, take up a position on Federal.
I know half y'all here don't know your east and west. Y'all be fucked.
I don't know my east and west. I know my street names though.
He's south on Montfort.
This is so fun. I want to do a skit where
Just want to follow each other.
Yeah.
1171, what's your status?
He couldn't have gone past us.
1171. Nothing on this side.
Must have went to ground.
All right, hold your positions. I'll take a look.
No, go out there. Oh, right. I'm about to.
That was a cocky ass move, Avon.
We brought WeBay coming out the other day with 22,000. And the boys talking on the wire were saying that it wasn't that much of a loss.
At the Avenue corners, you're probably up near 30.
That's 25 million a year, conservatively.
Where's it all go?
He shows no flash, no house, no car in his name, jewelry, no clothes, just front companies and the property. And political contributions. 75,000 last month alone, all from his front companies or their listed offices. And that's just at a quick glance.
He said politics?
Contributions. You've got the likes of Damian Price, aide to a state senator, driving out 20,000 in cash from the projects whenever he feels.
He's like, I told you.
And more than the drugs, it's the money that matters.
Godly.
Alright, fuck it. If you wanna go, then go. But you can give me a goddamn reason.
I've said fuckboy shit like that in my lifetime. Not proud of it.
What do I look like?
You look like a girl, a woman, a beautiful woman. You fine. What?
I don't look like trash to you?
Baby.
Oh my gosh, don't say, oh my God, girl, no.
I don't look like something you could roll up in a rug and throw in the trash?
That's a pretty reasonable reason to leave me.
You know, at least give her space, my guy. Like,
People have been dumped for much less.
Right.
Tony, you caged us? You were almost home.
Sick.
So when Daniels looks mad, I'd be like, oh, we're fucked. Like,
Right,
he's
like-
damn near scary. Like, all right, bro.
I feel like he's always very much on edge.
Hey, check my calendar again, yo. How bad? Not too bad, man. You got hit by 22. 22? That's all.
You guys only brought 20.
I got towers 2, 3, 5, and 6, and another one labeled P for the pit. Where's 1 and 4? It's on the wire. We took them for 22. You shitheads turned in 15. Where's the rest?
Tenant, we ain't got.
You have to roll call tomorrow to crawl back to whatever ruck you hit it under.
You stupid asses.
What's that? $7 grand?
He said, I fucking told you.
I wouldn't steal and not tell you about it.
Just where Omar's truce is going.
This some of Avon shit. You got Avon Barksdale chasing your ass all around town and you still find time to take this shit.
Your proposition is you get 4 G-packs for free. Give me some better idea on how I can reach Avon.
How to contact him? I paid his ass. Avon is 100 large to me on a bet. Then you bring me some of his shit so that I can put your predatory self on his ass. Not his day, is it?
And they got a fucking stripper on his ass now, too.
Like, why? Oh, like, is this an impounded car or something?
Nah, they're trying to see where else the money could have been. But I think WeBay was taking money off the top and then chocolate chip.
They found it.
Remember that fucking bag ripped like 4 times.
Yeah.
Y'all was about to go to jail. 2 cops in jail.
What? Real well. You remember when the bag broke?
Think Daniels will believe it?
Would you?
Damn, like, look at the car. Is there not cameras in the garage? Are there no cameras in the garage, bro?
Sorry.
Damn, man. I feel bad for covering them, bro.
Oh my.
Avon about to get fucked up, yo.
I know he's there.
What Omar said last episode, if you come at the king, you better not miss. And in chess, we have discussed that Avon is... Oh, shit.
Man, Avon's about to get bullet. Man, he about to die. He was on my face.
Fuck.
What are you waiting for?
Hey, they had cheese fries, baby. I got you some.
Oh, you got shot.
A-bomb, stay down, man. I got you covered.
Motherfucker got cocky as fuck, bro.
fucking missed the
you got
shot.
God bleeding.
Missed the
This is so good. This is good. All right.
Bro, this shit, man.
He missed a shot though. Like now, Avon's gonna have like all this extra security up on him. Not like you missed your shot, bro. That was the call.
It was so close, bro. They didn't have cheese fries,
bro.
Avon knew. He didn't
think.
He didn't even think. He just dove out the way. He didn't even see Omar. He was just like, I'm just gonna move.
Avon just dives, bro. Like he just saw like, the peripheral vision that he had, and then just to dive the instincts, bro. That's crazy shit, bro. That is.
I think it was he knew like the aspect of, man, why would this do like anything that's off? Avon's like, nah, man, that shit ain't right. Someone's trying to kill me. Nah, why would he page me twice?
No,
and then not answer.
He just like literally was like, all right, maybe like Bae was out, got some shit and whatever emergency.
But you saw how quick
he saw Bae come back. He's like,
how long did it take him to leave though? Like Weebay was running right around the corner. It was like he was going for like they probably put in the call. He was like, pick that shit up. Went to go pick it up. Like,
he should have taken the shot immediately. Yeah, like you took your time.
He was like, he can't miss. He's like, he had it lined up. I mean, he was taking his time.
But
he
now
took his time.
He's literally got Avon like, yo, I'm not as invincible. Maybe we should have called this truce. Maybe. Or really, he's just gonna be pissed off and
Avon's just gonna type in
bigger bullets.
Also, why didn't my question? Like, I don't know. Maybe Omar. Why was he waiting? Like, he waited for the second call. Like, after the first call, I would have taken him out. Like, I don't know why he waited. Like, I think that extra weight fucked him over.
Yeah, but I mean, like, once again, I think I said this last discussion, like, Omar plays it slow. Because he's like, I think when you're, like, hunting, you can't, like, you ain't supposed to pull the trigger until you're like, I got this shot. Because if you spook the animal, you know, it's going to run. You ain't going to be able to catch it. So he's like, let me get him out here in the open. He ain't got no cover around him. Like, when he poked his head out of the shop, he could have missed that shot. He would have been back into the shop and there'd been no way to get him. So he's like, lured him out to the payphone and was like,
but he lured him out to the payphone twice.
That's why he took too long.
Yeah, the second he lured him twice. Like the first payphone, you should have shot him there.
God damn.
Man,
this was a good episode though in general. Like I like the whole aspect of the projects playing b-ball against each other.
Yeah.
I think that's like a sense of community in a way and everything.
Yeah. No, it definitely
like
is.
You know, it's outside the gang, outside the shooting, like, hey, let's play some ball. Like who's gonna have like the most rep to brag about rights and everything. So I did like that. But that little dude from Italy on the other side, bro, he was dancing and doing tricks around his ass.
Ankles for dinner.
Straight and one mixtape, hot sauce, skip to Malou. God.
Avon's such a sore loser too. He's like, he's like, next week, no balls. I'm like, oh my god.
No, what he say? He was like, yeah, come out here to the cookout, baby. But if I catch you out here without a ball,
right.
light your
Yeah. Hey, also, like, Avon was no sore loser. That was a foul. The last play was
yes, that was.
No. I'm with Avon.
Foul.
Yeah, no.
But they weren't they already down? So like, I mean, yeah, it was a foul, but I mean, it looks like they was about to lose anyway.
They were up. Avon was up 12.
Yeah, and then he got.
Then
he
he played it because he made the bet for that extra 100,000 or for that extra.
Bro, in general, the whole game was a foul. They both got members from different, not from the hood, not from the projects and shit. We got a kid from who knows where that they paid $15K for, but $20K for. I'm sorry.
Well, the guy he was talking to, the fat dude, I know his name. I'm just not. He called him Slim. It's not his name. I know his name. I can't say his name until the show says his name. Those are the rules. But
his name was really Slim.
He well, see, I'm a spoiler. He said we know that boy. He's from the east side, so he's from his part of town. He was like, I see you pulling from the junior college. So like, I mean, they know what they fucking doing, but nah, man, the game was good, and fucking they gave away that Avon was there.
Yeah.
Like, and it was who was it? I think it was Poot and Bodie. Yeah. Like, man, Avon gonna be shitty or something like that.
And Carver and Herco all together and everything. I love that.
Whenever they meet up, they're just like, hey, we fucked you up. It's like, you fucked me up. I fucked y'all over. You fucked us over.
We're friends up.
We're good with this.
But like, so that whole scene with them seeing Avon there and everything, McNulty fake that they saw him from the rooftop or something?
Well, they had somebody on the phone, I think, getting a re-up, and he lied and said that Sid North saw, because they can't monitor a phone unless they know who's using it. It has to be one of their suspects using it, so they lied. Well, McNulty lied.
Mm-hmm. And fucking Prez, man. Prez, he beat up a kid, and gave him blood. He lost night and everything, but he's trying to do right now. I think he's got a little conscious now. I don't know.
Working in the fucking office.
Fucking Bub getting clean.
Oh, yeah.
Chilling out.
Because he saw old boy Waylon from the meeting out there at the testers. And he was like, I'm just trying to get my nephew off the streets.
All right.
Yeah.
God.
And then to find out you guys are all really just smacking baking soda and shit. Like
that sucks, bro.
Risked his life to shoot up fucking baking soda. He's like, I'm getting clean tomorrow.
Got an instant beaten over this baking soda.
Right? Ugh.
So we don't know still who Bub's staying with, who that woman is. I'm assuming it's some kind of relative, obviously.
I was thinking, a relative like sister or something. Maybe that's his niece, not his daughter.
No.
The little
the little kid, definitely his
kid.
niece. I don't think he has any kids. There's no way Bub has kids.
Before drugs, maybe.
Right? Damn. I don't know. I just, heroin scares me because people are like, it's better than sex. And I'm like,
gotta be amazing.
I've done a lot of ridiculous things to have sex. So if heroin's better than that, I don't need that shit in my life.
It's gotta be incredible. Like billionaires have gone broke over heroin and crack, and like will just be shooting up in porta potties through New York.
Right? Yeah, no, I'm good.
It's enough to lose all your money, your house, your yacht, your car, and your family, even the damn dog. It's got to be amazing. I won't touch it.
Right? Nope, won't do
exactly.
it.
No, if you're
That's just got to be phenomenal.
I've done gross things for donuts from Longs. Like, I do not need that shit in my life. Like, if there's anybody out there who has overcome a heroin addiction or is going through it right now, like, props to you for overcoming it. If you're going through it, you can do it. It's going to be fucking tough, but you fuck no.
Like, Indiana's a hot pot for that stuff, I heard, and like, I don't know, people don't sleep for days, they don't eat.
Fucking on the
like,
north side.
People that have died from it, people that have gotten over it. It's good to see both sides.
Like, I'm here, hey, Bub, you got the drugs, go sell and get food, And I'm not thinking, oh, wait, he actually just needs the drugs more than the food. That's how deep it is.
Yeah, no, they weren't even worried about it. Which, even finding out it was bullshit, they weren't like, we could still sell this. They were just like, it's over.
Right.
No, get that shit going.
Right, I would have sold that shit.
At least.
I would have.
So Omar out there being on the
Matrix level shit.
On the old hunt, he fucking showed up, robbed people without even. He just talked shit. They was like, "We in here with a Mac 10." He was like, "I doubt that shit, Terrell."
Right.
And Trump
down by your government name.
Right. Even if he had the Mac 10, obviously he was not gonna use that bitch. He was like, "I'll just come back tomorrow," and the day after. He's like, I will shoot all y'all over this shit. And they're like,
also the drugs that Omar stole, those were baking soda too, right? The yellow
No. So the yellow cap, so if you're gonna sell fake drugs, you want to design it to look like the real thing. So the yellow caps were the testers that they were putting out earlier that day, which is gonna be real drugs because it's in their best interest to put out real drugs. But whoever Bub stole from was just some off-brand motherfucker on the corner.
Okay, so he didn't steal from Avon. Bubs didn't steal from Avon.
Nah, that wasn't my gang.
Okay.
So phone sex was really funny in this episode.
Yeah, that was strange.
They said maybe a 3-hole. She's like, I want you to butt fuck me. I ain't never heard nobody tell somebody else they want to get butt fucked over a payphone. Right? That's another level of dirty. I'd be like, I don't know how Poop was like, I'm not on the way right now. He's like, we'll handle that shit later. Saw Wallace buying.
Wallace buying?
Yeah, we finally got to see him actually buying drugs personally.
Yeah.
We thought he was just taking from, stash or whatever, but he's out there spending whatever money he can get on it.
Yeah, he taking money from...
He's trying to get out of it though. Like he told D, like he wants to go back to school and everything. Man. So I mean, I don't know. D, I feel like D has a chance. I mean, not D's. Wallace has a chance, guys. Like he can get out.
Yeah. He had two directions he could walk. He could have walked to the school. He could have walked to pick up drugs, and he went to pick up drugs.
Maybe he walked to the school earlier, and they said they put him in at the end.
There were no books in this man's hand.
They said they put him in at the end of the semester, and he was like, I'm gonna do me some drugs.
Everything's all mine.
Or maybe Wallace went and go pick up the drugs, took it to school, and then sell the drugs on a higher margin to the kids at school.
Now he's trying to get some real money. Get him
kids
early.
are notorious for having so much loose income to buy heroin at school.
Yeah, better off selling candy.
The kids, God no, man. He was sending those kids to school with chips and pop and shit. Like, I doubt they got extra lunch money for fucking buying dope.
Yeah. Yo, I think Omar missed because he didn't take the shotgun. I'm just not clicking that. Like,
he
took
the
did take the shotgun. What the fuck, but he had to get rid of that shit though.
Well, also when he has the shotgun, he has to have the trench coat because he's super obvious, and he has to be out here in the hoodie. So
be incognito.
Yeah.
I like the scene where they lay it down on Daniels about the politicians and the money and the dirtiness and everything.
Yeah.
He's just like, what?
Daniels was looking. He was like.
This is
he's like,
bad.
I'm trying to climb that ladder, dog. And he's like, it gets slipperier the higher you go. And they were just like, bro, we've been following his money. He's buying up bait,
I love Lester. He just lays it down. He's amazing. I love you, Lester. And the way he took care of Shardine. Yeah, that was really cool. He comforted her. I was really worried that she would tell D, yeah, I know what you did, and I went to the cops. I'm like, bitch, you're about to get killed.
Mark, son.
Man, also though, So you don't like Shadeen for snitching on D?
I do, man. They rolled up her fucking friend in a carpet and fucked her. No, bad.
D didn't participate in the fucking.
No, but D didn't
He
participate.
lied, but he lied. Said he went.
But how did? But
he
said
he took her to the hospital.
But D might have thought they might have took her to the hospital, but he didn't know they threw him away like trash.
He knew she was dead. He was like, "Hey, yo,
D saw, she was dead. You don't take the dead body to the hospital."
No,
he literally knew she was dead.
Yeah,
so I mean,
yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, there's better reasons to break up with people. That one's pretty high tier, right? If I find out tomorrow that Marquetta knew that one of my homies was literally dead, didn't do shit, I'd be like, oh, all right, well, we're gonna have to go ahead and
I
sign
just
them
wouldn't
papers.
I just wouldn't be like, D, what you're gonna like? Do I look like trash? You're gonna roll me up in like a carpet? Like, keep it on the low.
But I mean, that's probably like because if the coroner's got the body, it's street knowledge now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a secret. They're like, oh yeah, they found Keisha in a fucking trash can. Everybody know.
Right. She's fucked up, guys.
But I'm glad she got away.
But no. D would have known that the cops would have told her something because like D told her that she went to the hospital or some shit like that. But if she found her in the corner, then where did she get that info? So she must have got that info from the cops.
No. Like, Keisha is dead. She's at the coroner's. They have her name. Her family knows. And they would know the circumstances of her death. Yeah. So, like, it would be not a secret. Also, her and Keisha are friends. Keisha's mom could have told her.
But no. Yeah, but they found the body. She said you threw me. They said they found the body in a trash can, like, rolled up. The details of how they found the body, the way she told him, you can only get those details from the cop.
No, you could get those details from her mom. From her next of kin would be like, how did she die? And then the cops would be like, we found her body rolled up in a fucking carpet in the dumpster. Or the person who found the body would be like, I found the body rolled up in a carpet in the dumpster. Like, the cops usually, they won't give information like, if they were like if she would have been like, I don't know. Also,
got more details.
Yeah. Jesus.
That shit was wild.
It was.
And then they found the stolen money, the money in the car, Hurricane car. So I hope they don't get fired. And that's
I hope they believe
hard on that shit.
I mean, there gotta be cameras in the garage, bro.
Daniels doesn't want that smoke.
There gotta be cameras.
Daniel's literally, you can't believe them. I'm sorry. Like, even if I worked there, I'd be like,
no,
I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I'm just telling you that I can't believe you because it seems like I know you two fucking knuckleheads. Like, y'all are already out here beating people's asses. I'm supposed to believe that each of you
didn't take $7,000.
Right? Like, y'all lost 3,500 like separately. I'd be like, I find this very hard to believe. Also, it was 2 stacks, one for each of them. I'd be like,
yeah, it's too convenient.
Yeah. I mean, it's just on them. It's just one of them situations where it's like, man, like you just gotta come up and be like, I know I look guilty. That's it.
I mean, after those cameras, but yeah, this was really good episodes. The gang missed some good episodes too, but they'll be back with us next time.
Yep.
We appreciate you guys watching with us. We love you so much.
Bye, y'all. Let us know what you think about this.
Peace.
Bye, Pat.
Okay, The Wire 1X9, let's talk about it. The quote is from Herc, maybe we won. And I'm going to come back around at the end of the discussion and see how the quote connects to the episode. Every quote in every episode is intentional and it connects to the episode, but this is really like the first one where I was like, oh man, that's pretty good. So we'll come back around and connect that. So anyways, the episode starts and Stringer and Barksdale are recruiting that kid that they're going to use later on in the game. Proposition Joe has entered the chat, and it was crazy how much money they spent on this kid. They spent $20,000 total recruiting this kid. It was 10. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but they paid the kid $10,000 to do it. They paid $5,000 to the school program, and then they paid $5,000 to the coach under the table or whoever he was to make this happen. So they spent $20,000 recruiting this kid for this game. And remember, they paid $5,000 to a school program. That is a school sports program that just got funded with drug money. Ooh. And then we have the really, really nice scene with Wallace and D'Angelo, and, you know, I'm glad that D'Angelo was finally able to talk to Wallace and kind of learn, you know, where his headspace has been at, and Wallace wants out. He wants completely out, and he actually wants to go back to school. But then later on in the episode, we literally see him buying drugs, so he's already kind of addicted, or getting addicted. So if he doesn't get on that right path soon, things are not looking very good. I'm still worried for Wallace, man. He's I don't know what's going to happen with him. But it was just really nice to see how D'Angelo kind of handled the whole situation and how he was talking to him and giving him advice. And I think D sees a little bit of himself in Wallace, you know, because he's like, you got a good heart. And at the core, I feel like D's got a pretty good heart. You know, I really do feel like D is like one of the good ones. He's a good dude. He means well, and I really don't think he belongs in the game either. And he doesn't want to be in the game. He admitted that in the last episode. He said, this isn't for me. So I think D really sees himself in Wallace, and that's why there's this almost like unconditional love that's formed. And I really feel like D has become a father figure for Wallace. So that was a really nice scene. And then you have Kima and Hurt pulling Weebay, and I don't know who the other guy was, Ronnie Moe maybe, and they get caught with all that money that gets seized, and they don't even bat an eye. And you can see Weebay's experience in this scene on how to talk and how to handle yourself when you get pulled over by the police. And it was just he just let that money go without batting an eye. And as we find out later how much the operation is making, that's like couch change for them. So it was just crazy how Weebay just kind of handled himself there very calmly, didn't give a fuck. So you can see his experience in that scene. And then we cut to one of the pits where, you know, people are hyping up the new heroin package, the yellow tops, which is supposed to be really, really good. And it's crazy when Bodhi comes in there, and it was such a fucked up scene, because Bodhi comes in there and he just throws a bunch of them, and everybody goes. It was like feeding dogs. It was so like, it was so primal. It was such a fucked up scene. And also listen to how Bodhi talks to them. He's like, you fucking addicts, tell your addict friends about this, and, you know, spread the word. And it's crazy because he's the business, but those are the customers. And in any other business in the world, you know, the customer is of highest priority. You've got to respect the customer. You got to talk. You can't be talking to the customer like that. But in the drug game, you can treat junkies however you want, because their addiction is so strong. They're gonna buy it regardless. As we see later in the episode, where Bubs is fishing for heroin, and we'll talk about that. Next, we have one of my favorite scenes from the episode where Freeman is breaking it down with Prez and Sidner on how to find the information on some of these front properties that Barksdale owns. And it was really awesome editing with Freeman explaining what they need to do, and then we visually see Prez and Sidner doing it without like them spoon feeding us all of the information. It was a really good way to kind of handle. This show shows like the unglamorous, unsexy side of police work. You know what I mean? And amidst all that, I don't know if you caught it because it was visual, but they connected Levi finally to this operation, because Freeman was like, it's usually going to have the same lawyer, and then we see Prez looking through the papers and Levi's name pops up. So they finally connected Levi to this. So it was just a really good scene, because Freeman isn't giving us exposition of the end result of all that research. He's explaining what the research is and how it's done. And, you know, it's not like Ice-T and Law and Order that just like comes on camera with the answer ready. You know, like, looks like our boy owns a lot of properties on the west side of town. Like, no, it's, you got to come to that conclusion. So seeing that process makes you appreciate that information more, because it's very nitty gritty. They have to scour like thousands of documents to find this, and that's not entertaining to watch, but The Wire somehow makes it very entertaining to watch. So very well, so really good scene, really good editing choice in that scene. And Freeman himself, he's chasing the money, and now he's coming to find out that Barksdale has been making political contributions locally. And I think Freeman and Daniels are kind of coming to similar conclusions here. And Daniels' behavior is very interesting this episode too, because, we'll talk about that in a second. And this is where we have Bubbles. He goes fishing for drugs. Meanwhile, the dealer down there, he's distracted. He's freestyling about his life. And it was kind of a funny scene at first, and then it gets really fucked up, because his behavior caused two innocent people to get beaten down with baseball bats, probably to permanent injuries. I mean, that was like a life-altering beating, you know what I mean? They might be dead. Who knows? Like, that's not... You can't just do something like that and expect to walk away with it, and unfortunately, completely innocent people were blamed for it, and you could see Bubbles kind of just, like, twitching as he's, like, listening to them, because he feels bad, you know, like, he has to keep doing drugs because that's what addiction is. Like, your body demands it, but Bubbles doesn't want it anymore because he admitted in this episode he's trying to get clean, or he wants to get clean. But that's the strength of this addiction, is that it will cause a man to climb a roof with a fishing line and a hook and try to get a bag of drugs from a very dangerous situation. Like, he's not thinking about anything but the drug, and I think this show does a very good job of showing what addiction is and what it causes people to do. I mean, he got two people possibly killed because of his actions. So and it does eat him inside. You can see that. And for all that effort, it was baking soda. The yellow tops were complete bullshit. So how fucked up is that? And I'm trying to think of why they did that, because it was all baking soda. It wasn't even drugs. Which, by the way, they're shooting baking soda directly into their veins. So what? Anyways, but I'm trying to think of why Barksdale would pull a move like that. Why would he put out completely bunk product on the street with no strength whatsoever? And it got me to thinking, I mean, Omar has robbed him a couple of times. And there's the game going down today, which had at least $50,000 riding on it before they doubled down. But I'm thinking this was a way for him to make some quick money, because it's a low-strength product, and as we know, when the product is worse, business is better, because addicts are going to buy more in order to try to get high. So I think that's why they did it, man. I think they were trying to make some quick cash to cover the recruitment cost, the game cost, and possibly... the loss they've taken from Omar's robberies. And then we have a conversation with Herc and Carver, and Herc is like, what if we just kind of take some of this cash? And then we kind of see the legal side of, like, why you're probably not able to do that very easily. Like, again, in any other show, you know, with evidence, or if a cop wants to pocket something, they're just like, all right, well, we just won't talk about that. But no, there's a lot of paperwork involved with evidence, and they already have information on the wiretap of, like, how much they're expecting. So it was cool to see, like, the legal side of, like, how evidence works. But again, you see Herc fumbling and bumbling with the cash, and you see them drop it several times in that first scene. And then they get accused of stealing it later on, and I'm glad that they found it. But, you know, it's a bad way to set yourself up for blame, and who knows what Daniels thinks about them now, because, you know, like Carver said, like, would you believe that we just like, oh, it was in the trunk, whoops. So that sucks for them, because, you know, Herc and Carver, they're shitheads, but they're not bad dudes, you know what I mean? Like, that, you know, they have some pretty fucked up philosophies, of course, but I don't think they're bad guys, you know what I mean? So the show does a good job of, like, making you feel bad for them 1 second and then being like, what the fuck are you doing, you know, the next second. So I want to talk about Daniel's behavior this episode, because, like, the team is firing on all cylinders. Like, they got shit done this episode, you know what I mean? And you think Daniels would be happy about that, but the whole time he's like, oh fuck, they're actually figuring it out, because he doesn't want this to proceed further because of the conversation he had with Reed and Burrell in the previous episode. He knows what the higher-ups are going to think about this, and following the money is exactly what he was instructed not to do. Not because I don't think he wants to do it. I'm sure Daniels also wants the answers, but it's like, it's a tough position Daniels is in, because it's not, you can't just keep going to Burrell and bothering him about this, because eventually he's just going to fire you, and then you're going to lose everything. So it's like Daniels is really walking like a very tight rope here, and I feel for him. You know, I think that's why he made the very bad call to follow Barksdale, which, you know, it ended with the very iconic, like, that was such a good scene. But I think that's why Daniels it almost felt like Daniels was low-key trying to like kind of derail this just a little bit, because I think he wants this to end soon. So his behavior was very interesting this episode. But Freeman finally, you know, he's been chasing the money. Avon owns a lot of properties, including a lot of vacant properties, and he's making political contributions. And all of this has to be connected somehow. We just don't know how yet. But it was interesting with that conversation because Freeman and Daniels, I feel like they're two men of the same philosophy. It's just that Freeman doesn't have to deal with the very higher ups or even know what's going on with that, because I don't know how upfront Daniels has been about the conversation that took place with him and Burrell. So who knows what the team really knows, and because I don't know, Daniels was just very much to himself, kind of just like watching everything go down and not liking it because the team was actually focused and kicking ass this episode. And we see Omar kind of, chilling in one of his hideouts, and I don't know what he did at the door there. It looked like a piece of gum or something. I think it was a booby trap, not like a booby trap that somebody would get hurt on, but if somebody opened the door and searched that area, or if anybody had interfered with that area, he would have been able to tell, and that was like it would tip him off that maybe somebody's inside. So Omar's a clever dude, man. He's got his bases covered, and 6-pack of Mountain Dew and a box of fried chicken, dinner of champions. You know what I mean? And then we have the very, very funny scene with Poot's phone sex call that everybody's just nonchalantly listening to for like 5 to 10 minutes before it becomes pertinent, because they were supposed to shut it off after 90 seconds. And I don't know how laws on wiretapping are today, but at this point there were rules that you couldn't listen at certain times. So now they have to justify why they were listening to a whole phone sex call, which is going to be interesting to see interesting to think about what they might have wrote down for that. And again, even later there was some shadiness going on with the wiretapping this episode. They were kind of making shit up because, one, they're going to justify the phone sex call that they shouldn't have been listening to, and then the second one, Sidner was not on the roof that McNulty claimed he was. So that's two examples. That's two pieces of illegal and unconstitutional evidence that they're going to use. Again, Barksdale is a bad person. We want these people to go down. We want the cops to win, but they are beginning to do it through unconstitutional means in order to achieve the greater good. Now, I think it's fine for this case because this is a terrible operation that should be shut down, but what's to stop them from using these same tactics in another case or against somebody that's innocent just because they want that clearance? If 9 out of 10 pieces fit and they need to make that 10th piece fit, they're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Or I'm not, depending on the morale of the cop, but that's how it works. So rules are there for a reason, even if it ends up protecting bad people. You know what I mean? Which sucks. But it's all or nothing. It can't be subjective. You can't break the Constitution in one instance and not the other. And then we got another Omar coming, and he's just nonchalantly just walking through with the shotgun. Oh, and by the way, one of our fans pointed out why he might be using that specific type of shotgun, and I really tried to look for this comment so I could give you a shout out, but I couldn't find it. But I remember what you said. So it's a shotgun, it's a double barrel shotgun. So when he shoots it, the shell does not eject, right? Because that's a pretty key piece of evidence, as we found. Bunk and McNulty found that 45 casing that helped with the Daedra case. So Omar's using a shotgun where he can let 2 shots fire off and the casings will stay inside the gun. So that protects with evidence and whatnot. So that was a really good catch on your part. Comment below. Let me know. Remind me who you were. I think I will recognize your screen name. But I'm sorry. I really tried to look for that comment and I couldn't find it. But that was interesting. Good catch. And Omar is just such an urban legend in these parts that like nobody wants to fuck with him. Even when he's at the stash door, he knocks once and then he turns around. He gives his back to the enemy because he's not worried at all, because he's already spent hours with the intel and finding he already knows all the answers. He knows that they got nothing in there, and so he's not worried at all. He turns his back to him and just casually smokes a cigarette, and of course they give up without a fight because nobody wants to fuck with Omar. And Kima and Freeman scoop up Shardine, and then they got her to flip by showing her what happened to Keisha, which is really fucked up. They rolled her in a rug and threw her in the dumpster. I don't even know what to say about that. Like, you see how the women in the show get treated or objectified, and you see how the children are abused and exploited. Women and children are I think amongst the heaviest of casualties in the show. Like they go through some fucked up shit, and to be rolled up in a rug and thrown in a dumpster, man. So I'm kind of glad that Shardine, kind of started to flip there. Who knows if she really will, because obviously when she was huffing and puffing and leaving from Dee's place, she told him what she knows. So I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna flip or not. It seemed like she was, and I hope she does, because that's fucked up. That's fucked up what Bay and all of them did. And Dee is complicit. Dee is 100% complicit because he found her, so he was there, so he knows what went down, and he probably helped with it too. So, and it was finally interesting to see why Freeman makes all those miniature furnitures. I thought he had been building like a dollhouse or something for one of his kids or something, but that's a side hustle. That's a very unique side hustle, and he probably makes bank doing that. Actually, they might have mentioned that earlier, and I might have just missed it. But anyways, I just caught it that that's his side hustle. But again, cops are paid so little that they have to have some other means of income. You know what I mean? That's just another example of like him not being able to live off the salary that he has, and so he's got to have a side hustle. And I don't know who Bubbles was visiting. I'm guessing his sister, and maybe that was his niece. And I'm glad Bubbles is trying to get clean. And you saw him in the basement. Like, man, Andre Arroyo's acting as a dope head is so good. Like he's twitching and he's just like in his mind. Like you can see the gears turning, and you can just see his mind just going drugs. Like he's so distracted by his addiction, and his performance is just spectacular. One of the best performances in the show, I think. And even the makeup department, man, the makeup that they do on Andre Arroyo is so good, because he looks so gross and disgusting. Like, ugh. Like, man, he's one of my favorite characters in the show, hands down. Like, his performance is incredible. And then we got the East Side, West Side basketball game. And there was at least 50,000 riding on this game before they doubled down. That's crazy. So this is not just for funsies. You know what I mean? This is a serious game. And it's kind of an interesting way to wage war and have bragging rights. Like, instead of getting into like an actual violent war, we'll have East Side, West Side come together once a year, at some form of a truce, and we'll play basketball. And basketball is a really big thing in this community. We've seen people, kids playing basketball with milk crates in the pit, and that kid that they recruited, he's incredible at basketball. Everybody wants to recruit him. He just doesn't have the grades to get those offers yet. And then we also saw that drug dealer when Bubbles was robbing him with the fishing line. That guy was freestyling about his life, and it wasn't half bad, you know what I mean? So where I'm going with this is that I see hip-hop and basketball and football and like sports and hip-hop being a very big part of inner city life, because those are talents that you can develop on your own without school. Even if you're in school, the education system is severely broken, and we'll come to that conversation one day. But when you can't rely on education, and when your community is so poor that you can't afford luxuries that other people can, like video games or whatever, like a lot of these people probably don't have internet, especially at this time, 2002 or whatever. But sports and hip hop seems to be a very big part of inner city life because those are talents that can get you out of the life if you're good enough for it. You know what I mean? And this kid is good enough for it, and hopefully he pulls the grades. But I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments. But I think that's kind of why they showed all that. And very, very good editing choice here to keep cutting between the game and Kima and Freeman trying to flip Chardine, because Kima and Freeman are playing their own game to flip Chardine, right? So like the game is being played while the game is being played. You know what I mean? It was very, very good editing choice to do that. And Prop Joe pulls it off with the trick up his sleeve, you know? So we kind of get into the inner workings of Prop Joe just a little bit, because he benched that kid through the game until the last bit. So he knows Barksdale. He knows how to make him tick, and he got him to double down, and he knew that he had this trick up his sleeve. So that's a little bit on Prop Joe. Like he's always got a trick up his sleeve. Don't underestimate Prop Joe. And again, Daniels chooses to follow Barksdale, and Barksdale just makes Daniels look foolish with the very classic just. So now there's no subtlety about it, you know. Like that scene was like it was a cat trying to chase a mouse, and the mouse is way more familiar with the maze. You know what I mean? Like Barksdale knows the city inside and out, so he was able to outsmart them very easily, even though that they threw everything at him. And now there's no subtlety about it. Now Daniels and Barksdale have made eye contact, so now Barksdale knows 100% there's something big happening, and they're after him, and he's probably about to switch up his tactics hardcore, I'm predicting. And then, you know, just after the game, when everybody's leaving, we got the skyline shot of Baltimore. That was very, very dope. Very, very good cinematography there. It's like the war for the city. You know what I mean? Man, this episode was so good. And then we get some quick math when they're finally finding out how much Barksdale makes. So these are estimated numbers where they came to is $60,000 a day, 20 to 25 million a year, and so and he's making political contributions. Now, we always talk about the 1% in America, and you always picture like billionaires and Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and stuff. Well, this is the other side. This is the hidden 1%. Because that's a cash business. That's not IRS reported. You know what I mean? So there's a whole. It's like the dark web of 1%. You know what I mean? So yeah, when you got money like that, you're gonna put it in a lot of different places, including politics. Now, why? Why is he trying to get into the senator's pocket? We don't know that yet. That's gonna develop, and it's just crazy that this operation is worth that much money. And Barksdale is very charismatic, and he's very, very fun to watch, but you shouldn't idolize him. You shouldn't think that he's a good person, because he is the 1% of Baltimore, and you see the state that Baltimore is in. Barksdale and Proposition Joe, just those two people alone with their operations, they're largely responsible for the way that the city is right now. You know what I mean? So, I mean, they're sucking up all the money for themselves, and all these other people, they got nothing. They got absolutely nothing. So he's fun to watch, but he's an evil, evil dude. And then finally, Omar's got a proposition for you, and he steals the 4G packs, which is $4,000 worth of heroin, gives it to Prop Joe, and then he tries to go after Avon, and that was a crazy scene. The shootout scene, it was so tense. It was Omar gets shot, and then he runs away. And so now this is where I want to come back to the quote and then connect everything. Well, first of all, let's go back to a previous quote. You come at the king, you best not miss. Omar came at the king, and he missed. However, this was Omar's second encounter with Weebay, and this time Weebay did not miss. Omar got shot. So good, dude. So good. And then the quote was, maybe we won. And that got me to thinking after the episode. I was like, what did the quote have to do with the episode? And then I realized this episode was really about people being a little too cocky. You know, people got a little too comfortable. People thought that they had the plan in the bag, and then it didn't work out. And the three major examples that I noticed is when Daniels fucked up and decided to chase Avon, and he thought that he had him, and then was made to look foolish. Avon thought that he had the game in the bag, so he decides to double down with Prop Joe and loses. Omar thought that he had Avon in his sights and missed and got shot. So maybe we won. So good. So good. This episode was sick. Oh, so good. And I'm so excited. We're at the end of the season. I can't wait for the finale. The show is just firing on all cylinders now. So if you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, comment, share. Definitely subscribe, definitely like, and definitely comment below. At least those three things. Do it for us. And we'll see you in the comments below. I'll see you in the comments below. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
Thanks for watching The Wire with the Normies. Check us out on Patreon for early access and uncut content. Special shout out to our super patrons Exploring Dylan, Ruby, Aaron, Joe Maggs, Harry Magfan, Mr. Momus, Nick Comfort, Flower House, the NYR Fan, and ZJP. And we will see you all next time.